tell I'm in denial?
You can't stay at the top forever.
I was also very surprised when I looked at my phone and saw Joe Girardi dismissed.
Well, I think mine were with common sense.
I think now belongs in the all-time greats top 10.
Boston, I really think only got to this point because of a guy named Chris Middleton being out for the Bucks.
That power play just was unbearable. It was humming.
Man, am I happy. I knew that this was going to happen. I knew he was going to come back.
When I think of New York Yankees now is Judge, probably people in the past when Jeter was coming up.
I would be shocked. A little bit hurt.
Hey, this is Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, TexasFootball.com, and Valley Sports Southwest. You are listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NBA Opinions of the Week. We are recording right after the trade deadline ended. A little disappointing for me because the Mavs only made one move, and that was the Kyrie trade. And I am once again joined by the man with the self-believing preacher, Austin.
Yep. I am a self-belief man, but this is a long enduring trade deadline. So much stuff happened. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, well, let's start with the Kyrie trade. How do you feel about it? I'm pretty sure you know how I feel about it, but I don't know how you feel about it.
About the entirety of it?
Yeah, the Kyrie decision.
I mean, it's really hard for me to equate it because of the fact that he could just not return next year. And that I think is massive.
But what about right now?
I mean, again, the KD trade and the Clippers deals and the Nuggets getting Thomas Bryant a backup center when their backup centers were horrible for them, and so many other trades. I mean, Kyrie to the Mavs is huge. You have to see if it'll work. I believe it will, but will it work well enough for them to win the West or even win around at this point because of so many good teams? I don't know. I will say this. The West playoff predictions, a video that we do every year, this will be the hardest year. By far.
Oh, yeah,
Not
for
close.
sure.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah. With the Kyrie trade, on the court it makes sense. Like, I think it will work offensively. I wish they got more defense because it stunk giving up Dorian. And we'll see how that first round pick goes. But overall, hopefully it works. And it's just like, when was the last time a team that got Kyrie lived up to expectation?
The Cavs.
Yeah. And that was with, like, LeBron. So I'm just not sure if that works. And then I'm pretty skeptical of the KD trade with the Suns because where's your bench?
But the starting lineup's so good. I look, I'm not that confident in it yet, but I mean, the bench for the Mavs still doesn't make me feel all that good. I know they have Hardy, but Hardy's so I'm great, I'm horrible. Hardy's splits are still not great. And I know the belief in Hardy is immense, but
I am diehard Hardy person. I
get that, but the bench for the Mavs isn't that. You guys got to get Maxey back.
Well, yeah. Maxey comes back. So do you view Green as a starter?
I'd say so.
Okay. To me, there are like a few more of those guys. But yeah, I do see your point. The team that
Reggie, I know Reggie played well the other day, but Reggie's not that good this year. Same thing with Tim Hardaway. Yeah. Same thing with Davis. Same thing with JaVale McGee. Same thing with Dwight Powell.
I think they can get like some guys in the buyout market that can fill some roles. Such as if Pat Bev's on the buyout market, if like Goran Dragic hits the market, like I think a backup point guard would really elevate that team. But I do see your point. I was hoping they got like another starter defensively, so like a Thibault, so then they could move Green to the bench. But the two teams that I think did really well at this deadline, well, three teams, the Lakers, Clippers, and Warriors.
I don't know about the Warriors. I know they got Gary Payton back. The Clippers
Oh,
did
wait.
really well.
They didn't get Sadiq Bey. That's my bad. Yeah, so I'll cross the Warriors. I thought they got Sadiq Bey, but he actually went to Atlanta.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
yeah.
I see the Nets also did really well because getting Spencer, getting Dorian, their team's really good defensively, and I know they got so many picks, but even right now, I think their team contends for a playoff spot and even could win a round or two because, I mean, their defensive lineup is so stellar.
It is incredible. Because they got Mikal, they got Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, Dorian, of course. It's just like, I guess that offense is going to be heavily reliant on Cam Thomas, Dinwiddie, and Curry. And then you'll see what you get from Ben Simmons.
Yeah, and man, I mean, there were 16 trades that went down in the past 2 days.
Wow.
A lot of deals. Mo Bamba to the Lakers, I feel like it's a good one. Thomas Bryant going to the Nuggets. Both of those. Both teams that needed another backup center. And Bamba defensively is better for the Lakers, while you do need probably a shooting big. And the bench centers for the Nuggets have been horrible this year, at least plus-minus wise.
Was DeAndre Jordan the backup? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yes, and Zeke Naji was sometimes. But both those guys were like minus over 10, while Jokic is plus 23. And then them trading away Bones, I get it. I understand that because KCP really can play point. I know KCP starts, but bench point guard, you can move some stuff around. And again, Jokic is basically a point guard anyway. So I'm excited to see how these trades work out.
Yeah, I wish the Nuggets were able to keep Highland because then I think they'd be even better. And now I really like the Clippers getting Highland and Mason Plumlee as well. Even though
The
they
Plumlee
did
deal is so underrated.
That's
good. Probably the biggest trade outside of like All Stars. Like we're not including KD or Kyrie. I would say that's probably the best trade because Mason Plumlee is such a good passer as a big. He can rebound really well. He's getting better at the free throw line. And for a team that had Zubac, who really can only rebound and sometimes score a little points, I mean that the Clippers worry me, and a lot of teams in the West do, for that matter.
The Lakers worry me more than the Suns because it seems like they have a good lineup, like overall.
I have to see it work together. KD isn't that big of a question mark because it's Kevin Durant.
I'm not worried about Kevin Durant. I'm kind of worried about like Devin Booker, CP3.
Yes, but you got to think it's going to be really hard to guard that lineup, and I'm man, there's been so many trades.
But the thing about the KD deal is he's on a 4-year contract, or
yeah,
like it's not like it's not like rental. So you do get to pair Ayton, KD, and Booker together.
Any moves you make this offseason.
Yeah, that's true. It's just stinks that they gave up
Paul longer than they signed him long term, and I do think that this will be a huge way to really see if Chris Paul will get a ring, and I don't really know. I think the 76ers made a nice trade for Jalen McDaniels. Jalen McDaniels a good defender. He can shoot some, even though he hasn't been that efficient this year. But, man, I just don't know. There's so many. I would say this, and me and a friend were talking about this yesterday. Best trade deadline week ever? Yes, I would say so. At least in my memory. From the Kyrie trade to the KD trade, all these other trades. I thought there was going to be another big one with OG included, or maybe John Collins, but we never got there. But do you think we talked about this yesterday in our video where we posted, because we're talking about this Thursday, Rise of Ched deadline is happening. Was this enough? Was this a good trade deadline?
Yeah, I would say this is pretty good. I was
saying maybe we don't need KD traded, and then KD did get traded, and I mean, we were so wrong. I said Jakob Poeltl to the Wizards. I was wrong. I said Kyle Lowry to the Heat. That worked. Jared Vanderbilt to the Mavs. That was wrong. Eric Gordon to the Grizzlies. That was wrong. But they did get Kennard. Luke Kennard. That's same effect, if you know what I mean.
Wait,
like Clippers,
Luke Kennard? Where'd he go?
Grizzlies.
Oh, I missed that.
So the Grizzlies, I knew where they were going to get a shooter. And so they ended up getting Luke Kennard or Eric Gordon went to the Clippers. I said D'Lo to the Nets. That was wrong. Kuzma and Kristaps I thought would stay. That was right. Same thing with John Collins. Bojan Bogdanovic didn't get traded, which I thought he was 100% getting traded somewhere.
Yeah.
I thought OG would
There's-
stay. That happened. I thought Wood would stay. That would happen. Aiden stayed. That happened. I thought Russ would go to the Jazz. That was right. But KD didn't stay. Jordan Clarkson stayed. I was wrong about that. Mike Conley went to the Timberwolves. Wrong about that. OG, I said was going to stay. I always said that. But Fred to the Clippers. Instead, they got Bones, which is probably a better deal in my opinion because Fred has struggled and Bones is less money.
Yeah, and I want to talk about the Raptors. Really didn't they kind of stayed pat and they acquired Pirtle, and hopefully they can work something out with VanVleet, and then OG. We'll see if he stays, and if he doesn't get traded. So I'm very interested in what they do, and then the Knicks kind of getting Josh Hart was pretty interesting. So how do you feel about that?
I mean, I thought the Trailblazers were going to be make a much bigger move, but I mean, they got Kevin Knox and they got Cam Reddish, but they didn't really make any moves that I was like, wow, that was a really good move.
Yeah, and it wasn't from the teams that I expected to make moves. But with the Mavs, they didn't trade Christian Wood. He's been saying tweets like everyone doubted him. I'm very intrigued how he plays with Kyrie and Luka because then the offense should be great.
I can't wait for that first game with everyone healthy for the Mavs. I can't wait for the first game with everyone healthy for the Suns.
I am. I also agree.
I can't wait for when the Suns inevitably play the Mavs in the first round.
That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. And then we'll just have to see how everything turns out. And then I'm very intrigued in the buyout market. I think that's going to be pretty active.
Apparently, Kevin Love may be in the buyout market.
Yeah, which I saw that, and then people were talking about Pat Bev, Russell Westbrook. People are like Bojan, but I don't think Bojan gets bought out.
Yeah.
Another team I want to talk about, even though it's not really for this year, but for the future, the Pistons. How do you feel? Do you like them buying on Wiseman, buying low?
I like it. I mean, I'm not that high on Wiseman, but you can't buy him lower. And in a case where he doesn't need to prove anything for that trade to be decent because, I mean, they're already trying to get Wembanyama as their next center anyway. And if Wiseman becomes what he's supposed to be, and you get Wiseman and Wembanyama,
and they've Jalen Durant. Or Duran?
Yeah, Durant. And they have, obviously, all their Cade. And,
great.
Yeah. That's Isaiah Stewart. So.
Oh, that's true. And then, yeah, I really like. Didn't Cade go out with an injury, or was it Jaden Ivey? Or are they both playing?
Cade went out with an injury. Ivy's still playing.
Okay. I couldn't remember. So that's a great thing to look forward to. And I don't think they've traded any of their first, so we'll see what happens. That's a team I'm looking forward to. And I am looking forward to the Nets. And the thing is, the Rockets have the Nets picks. So if the Nets don't do well this season, they could get higher picks.
There's so much to consider, and it's going to take me a minute to process.
Yeah, we'll definitely do more videos, but this is kind of main reactions to the trade deadline.
Yeah, this is more of a reaction, very rough, very not scripted at all, just talking.
Yeah,
There's surprised. A lot of trades that I just have to see.
Yeah, and I kind of want to see how players do and what else. But, yeah, now, who else? Oh, yeah, and then John Wall is going back to the Rockets.
He gets bought out.
Yeah, I think. So now, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We're a little bit shorter, but anything else you want to say before we sign off?
Nope.
Thank you for listening to us and choosing us, and be on the lookout for more episodes.